They told you that if you are a good person, money will follow you. They said that if you work hard, keep your head down, and play fair, the world will reward you. They lied. Look at the people who actually control the world. Look at the names on the buildings. Look at the men who sign the paychecks you work for. Are they nice? No, they are intimidating. There is a hidden language of wealth that the average person cannot understand because he is too busy trying to be liked. He thinks wealth comes from providing value. It does not. Wealth is a transaction of power, and power does not respect kindness. It respects leverage. It respects limits. It respects fear. Niccolò Machiavelli, the father of modern strategy, wrote the book on this 500 years ago, and we ignored it because it was uncomfortable. He knew that a man who depends on the love of others is building his house on sand. But the man who depends on fear builds on stone. You are here because you are tired of being the good guy who finishes last. You are tired of watching less skilled, more aggressive men take what should be yours. I'm going to show you how to reverse your mindset. We are going to remove the weakness of being too agreeable and install the mental system of kings. We are not talking about being evil. We are talking about being effective. By the end of this, you will understand why your need to be liked is the single biggest leak in your bank account and how to fix it using a specific type of cold, calculated fear that makes money flow to you. But first, you have to be ready to kill the part of you that craves approval because the market doesn't hug anyone. The first step is understanding the cost of being too nice. The economic psychology of kindness is brutal. Let's look at the facts, not feelings. In economic psychology, there is a concept called the agreeableness disadvantage. Studies consistently show a negative link between how agreeable a man is and how much money he earns. In simple words, the nicer you are, the poorer you likely are. Why? Because being nice is not a virtue in business. It is a sign of low status. When you are highly agreeable, you value harmony over your own gain. You avoid rocking the boat. You don't like making things awkward. You say yes to projects you don't have time for. You accept the first salary offer because you don't want to seem greedy. You forgive late payments because you understand the other person is struggling. You are paying a tax for your own weakness. Yes, weakness. We call it empathy to make ourselves feel better, but often it is just avoiding conflict. You are scared of the tension that comes from asserting your value. The wealthy man does not fear this tension. He creates it. He knows money is a zero-sum game in negotiation. For a dollar to move from his pocket to yours, there must be a reason. If you are nice, you give them every reason to keep it. You signal that you can be pushed around. You signal that you will accept less to avoid a fight. Machiavelli wrote, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." In business, love is customer satisfaction. That is fine. But fear is knowing that you are essential, irreplaceable, and dangerous to lose. If your boss loves you, he will pat you on the back. If he fears that you might leave and take his best clients to a competitor, he will raise your pay. Do you see the difference? Love gets you a thank you. Fear gets you a paycheck. You must examine your interactions. Where are you trading profit for politeness? Where are you taking a loss just to keep the peace? Stop. Let the silence become uncomfortable. Let that email go unanswered for a day. Let them sweat. When you stop rushing to soothe other people's anxiety, you become the authority. These men are not serial killers, they are corporate psychopaths. This means they can completely separate emotion from decision-making. They take big risks, fear little, and care little about fallout when necessary. To get rich, you need to simulate this. You don't need to be a true psychopath. You just need strategic coldness. Think of a surgeon. If a surgeon cries every time he cuts, the patient dies. To save a life, he must become cold. He must treat the body like a machine. To save your financial future, you must treat your career, your investments, and your business with the same coldness. The agreeable man sees a poor-performing employee and thinks about his personal struggles. He keeps him on payroll. The ship sinks and everyone loses. The feared leader sees the same employee as a broken part in the engine. He fires him. The company survives. 50 others keep their jobs. Who is truly good? The one ruthless enough to do what is necessary. Machiavelli said a prince who tries to be compassionate in every situation will ruin himself and his state. A man who wishes to be good in everything must come to grief among so many who are not good. The market is not good. Competitors are not good. Inflation is not good. If you meet a shark with a hug, you don't make a friend. You become food. You must ask of every deal, partnership, or investment only one question: does this advance the empire? If not, cut it. Don't apologize, don't explain, just cut. This level of detachment terrifies ordinary people. They see someone who cannot be guilt-tripped or emotionally manipulated and freeze. They realize their usual tools don't work. That is when they start to respect you. They see that you operate on logic, not emotion. In a world of chaos, the logical man is king. Next is the economics of dread. Why do people pay the IRS? Do they love the government? No. They pay because they fear audits. The global financial system works on consequences. To accumulate wealth, you must become a man of consequences. Machiavelli explained that love relies on obligation, which men break whenever it benefits them. Fear preserves you because punishment is constant. Think about it. Love is broken at the first opportunity. Have you ever lent money to a friend? They promised to pay, then disappeared or made excuses. They disrespect you because you are nice. Your love allowed them to take advantage. Now imagine borrowing from a shark or a bank. You pay on time. Why? Because the consequence is real. To get rich, stop being the friend and start being the bank. This doesn't mean threatening violence. It means creating real fear of loss. In every deal, the other side must believe you will walk away. If they sense you need it, they own you. Sit calm, unbothered, and say, "I'm not sure this works for me." Watch them sweat. They fear losing your value. Make yourself the prize. Scarcity increases value. Always being available makes you cheap. Gold is rare. Be gold. Be heavy. Be hard to reach. When you are difficult to access, people assume your time is worth money. When you are hard to impress, people work harder to earn your respect. There's a story about a famous creative director in the 1960s. He rarely spoke in meetings. He would sit silently at the head of the table, stretching moments of silence. People would pitch ideas, sweating, stammering. He would just stare, then nod or leave. His approval became the most valuable thing in the industry. Clients paid millions for that nod. If he had been chatty, friendly, and cooperative, he would have been just another employee. His silence made him a god. His unpredictability made him feared. Fear made him rich. You are too easy to reach. You answer too quickly. You smile too much. You are lowering your value. Practice the strategic pause. When someone quotes a price, do not answer immediately. Look, count to 5 in your head. Watch them break. They start negotiating against themselves. We could maybe do 10% less. You said nothing. Your silence did the work. That is the power of the void. People fear silence because in it they confront their own insecurities. Use it. Then comes the Hydra, becoming anti-fragile. Machiavelli studied Rome. Leaders who were rigid broke. The world is chaotic. Markets crash, trends shift, alliances break. To build lasting wealth, you must be dangerous in multiple situations. Be the Hydra. Cut off one head, another grows. The feared man is feared not just for what he can do, but because the world cannot hurt him. This is ultimate leverage. FU money. Before money, have the FU mindset. Most men are fragile. They rely on one job, one boss, one industry. This fear makes them sheep. Wolves are not afraid of the forest. To be feared, show that you have options. Lose one job, you have 3 offers. Investment fails, 10 others earn while you sleep. Leave you, you get replaced. You don't say it, you vibrate it. Machiavelli advised never to rely on others' armies. Mercenaries fail. Auxiliaries are dangerous. Have your own army in modern terms. Own your leverage, skills, audience, distribution. If you rely on YouTube or Instagram without owning an email list, you are a tenant on someone else's land. The landlord can evict you. The landlord respects the tenant who owns land next door. Build your life so no single person can destroy you. When people see they cannot control you, they stop trying. They start partnering, but on your terms. Nothing terrifies a manipulator more than a man who needs nothing. Finally, reputation. You fear being mean will make people talk. Good. Let them. Do you think Jeff Bezos cares if people say he is demanding? Do you think Elon Musk loses sleep over people calling him chaotic? No. They use it. A reputation for ruthlessness is a filter. It filters the weak, lazy, and scammers. People won't bring you half-baked deals or sloppy work. They double-check before presenting. You save time, energy. Machiavelli wrote, "Ideally, a prince should be both loved and feared. But if he must choose, he finds more security in being feared. Security is key. Security of time. Security of standards. When you are known to not accept mediocrity, mediocrity stops coming. Excellence is drawn to rigor. High performers want high performers. They want the boss who pushes them to greatness. By being feared, you attract talent, loyalty, and wealth, the best, and push away the worst. This is the power of a true master. But, and this is essential, you must be capable. Fear without skill is just intimidation, and bullies get defeated. Fear with skill is authority, and authority commands respect. You must be so excellent at what you do that your strictness is seen as the price of working with a master. Steve Jobs wasn't kind. He was terrifying. But he created the most valuable company in the world. People tolerated the fear because they wanted a part of that greatness. If you are average and cruel, you are just a nuisance. If you are elite and powerful, you become a legend. So the real question is not how do I intimidate people? The real question is, how do I become so skilled, so driven, and so effectively unstoppable that my standards scare those who are comfortable being ordinary? The next stage, the discipline of letting go, cutting off dead weight. Most people stay stuck because they can't let go of what they love. They cling to a failing business idea because it was their first project. They keep a toxic business partner because they went to school together. They hold a losing stock because they refuse to admit their mistake. This is the sunk cost fallacy. In the Machiavellian world, it is just weakness. To build an empire, you must become a butcher of your own attachments. Machiavelli admired leaders who could enforce necessary harshness. What does that mean? It means doing the hard task once and fully instead of letting a problem linger forever. If you have to fire someone, you don't give multiple warnings, a performance plan, and a hug. You fire them. You cut the limb to save the body. The kind boss drags it for 6 months. The employee suffers. The team suffers. Profits suffer. The feared boss cuts it on Tuesday. By Wednesday, the air is clear. By Friday, the team is moving again. Who was kinder? Is the currency of war, and business is war. The nice guy overshares. He wants friendship. He tells coworkers his weekend plans, his financial struggles, his doubts about the project. He thinks this builds trust. He is wrong. he is giving them power. Machiavelli said, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience who you really are. To be feared, you must be a mystery. When people know everything about you, they can predict you. If they can predict you, they can manipulate you. Oh, John is worried about money, so we can lowball him. He'll accept it. But if they don't know, if you are a blank slate, they panic. Does he need this deal? Does he have another offer? Is he bored? Is he angry? They have to guess. And when people guess, they usually guess in your favor to be safe. They offer more money because they fear offending you. They offer better terms because they don't know your limits. You must stop giving away your personal information. Stop explaining your why. Stop sharing your pain. Stop telling them your 5-year plan. Do the work. Let the results speak. In negotiations, speak 20% of the time. Listen 80%. The one who talks most gives away the most. The one who listens collects the intelligence. Silence is heavy. It makes people anxious. They will fill it with nervous chatter, revealing their weaknesses, deadlines, and fears. You just stay still. You nod. You take notes. You are the predator in the grass. You do not roar until you strike. This creates mental imbalance. They feel exposed while you remain protected. In a world where everyone posts their inner thoughts online for dopamine, the man who stays mysterious is a king. He is unique. Be the anomaly. Let them wonder. Let them make myths. Myths are more powerful and profitable than reality. The immunity to hatred. The final challenge. The hardest truth. If you follow this path, if you become ruthless, efficient, silent, and successful, people will hate you. They won't just dislike you. They will despise you. Friends who stayed stagnant will call you arrogant. Family will say you've changed. Competitors will call you evil. Most men break here. They crave approval. They self-sabotage to fit in. They apologize for winning. Stop it. Apologizing for power is a crime against your potential. Machiavelli knew envy is the shadow of success. You cannot have the sun without a shadow. If you want the light of wealth, you must accept envy. You must build immunity to hatred. Better yet, feed on it. When someone hates your success, it isn't about you. It is their own weakness speaking. You reflect what they've wasted. They want to break the mirror. Don't comfort them. Don't dim your light. Let them burn. A rich person knows being the villain in a loser's story is honor. It shows you've disrupted comfort. If everyone likes you, you're not making an impact. You're a pleaser. But if half fear you and half respect you, you are unstoppable. Freedom comes in being disliked. When you stop caring, you stop being their slave. You can say no. You can charge your worth. You can fire toxic clients. You can pursue your goals without checking if it's socially okay. You become sovereign. This mindset makes wealth inevitable, not by chasing money, but by removing social fear. You've crossed the river, burned the bridge. No returning to nice village. You are in the wild now. The wild rewards wolves, not sheep. Ethics of power. Why this isn't evil. The inner voice asks, isn't this wrong? Isn't this sociopathic? No. Consider, is a seatbelt evil because it restricts motion? No. It saves your life. Is a door lock unkind? No. It protects your family. Machiavellian thinking is a mental seatbelt and lock. It defends against a world that takes everything and gives nothing. To be feared doesn't mean cruel without reason. Unneeded cruelty creates hatred, and hatred is dangerous. You don't want hatred from your own people. You want respect from competence and boundaries. There is a difference between a tyrant and a king. The tyrant hurts for pleasure. The king punishes to maintain order. Firing a lazy worker protects the hard-working. Charging high prices protects your product. Enforcing a contract protects the market. This isn't evil. This is order. The nice guy creates chaos. He lets standards fall. He lets promises break. Structure rots because he is too weak to enforce rules. Chaos destroys wealth. Order creates it. You are the agent of order. You make hard choices to keep the system alive. You bear the burden of being the bad guy, so the result is good. That is leadership. That is responsibility. It pays because few can do it. They want gold but not the sword. You must hold both. The grand synthesis. The integrated man. Tactics are useless without the spirit. You must make this part of your soul. You aren't acting tough. You are becoming formidable. There is a version of you that is dormant, ancient, that knows how to hunt. Society put it to sleep with cheap dopamine, comfort, and safety. Wake him. Look at your finances. Is it a reflection of kindness or weakness? Look at your schedule. Is it filled with your priorities or others' demands? Look in the mirror. Do you see predator or prey? To get truly rich, not just comfortable, you must awaken the hunter. Stop waiting for permission. Understand the world owes you nothing. It gives only what you can take and hold. Machiavelli wrote in exile after losing everything. He saw that the world is a stage and most are reading a script they were handed. Be nice. Wait your turn. Don't be greedy. Tear up the script. Write your own. Your first line, I am not here to be loved. I am here to be effective. When you enter a room with that energy, everything changes. The air is thinner. Stakes rise. People sit up. They stop checking phones. They pay attention. Kings command. I have given you the knife. Shown where to cut. Shown that your goodness masks fear. Your greed masks sovereignty. Knowing the path isn't walking it. Most will watch and go back to being nice, apologizing, hoping the universe will pity them. It won't. The universe is indifferent, but a few of you, maybe 1 in 1,000, felt a click. You see the rules were rigged. You see the cheat code. Fear is not a wall, it is a door. You are ready. But beware, it's cold on the other side. Lonely, no applause, no hugs, only the silence of the peak and the gold. The choice is yours. Warmth of the herd or view from the summit. You know the answer. This is only the public version. Deeper lessons exist behind the join button. Those who stay, step into the architect level. Unlock uncensored content exploring the deepest human psychology. Most won't. That's the point.